Okay, in this video, we're going to go over the answers from NS1 and 2 notes that you went through and did practice for your reviewing for a test tomorrow. Number 2 is D. Number 5, the first choice is 7/9. The second choice is 56/11. And the third choice is 50/9. Number 11 on the back of the page, which you can see here, is just pi. And then number 12 is the first choice 3, the second choice 2 + 2, and the third choice 7/10. For NS2, number 5 is approximately here. It's about 4.7. Number 10, or rather 11. 11 is a little closer to -4 than -3. It's about -3.87. And then number 15 was D, 7.3. Now, if you have all these correct, great. Move on to the next section. If not, we're going to go through each of these problems and you can fast forward and rewind as needed through this video. NS1, number 2, which number represents 5.3 repeating written as a fraction? I could go to my calculator and use the fraction to decimal button to convert between this decimal and the fraction, and it would give me, it could give me a mixed number, 5 1/3, and then I could go further than that and use that A, B, C button that converts between D/E, and it would change it to the improper fraction 16/3. That's not the only way to do this. A quicker way is probably just to check each answer choice and find out what decimal it goes to by dividing, but either method will work. On number 5, we're choosing the fraction that's equivalent to each repeating decimal. I could go to my calculator and convert decimals to fractions. The fastest thing to do, however, is to take each fraction and say, well, that's division. 56 divided by 11 is 5.09 repeating. 50/9, which is 50 divided by 9, ends up being 5.5 repeating. And then 7 divided by 9 ends up being 0.7 repeating. And I just divided using my calculator. Number 11 asks which ones are not rational, not ratio. Can't be written as a fraction, so not a fraction. Okay, well, this one's a fraction, the first choice. We're looking for not a fraction. This one is a negative square root of 49 is 7, which we could write as -7/1. Then square root of 0 is 0, which we could write as 0/1. And then this negative 0.7 repeating is actually 7/9. We could find that in our calculator, but anytime you have a repeating decimal, we know that that is a fraction. So this one doesn't work. Number 12 asks which numbers are rational, so they can be written as fractions. Well, the first one, 3, we could write as 3/1. 2 + 2 is 4, which we could write as 4/1. 7/10 is already a fraction. If you were to take these other two choices and type them in your calculator, if you square root a negative number, you're going to get an error, so it's not a real number. So it's definitely not rational. And then 3 square root of 2 is going to give you some type of some type of decimal, such as this one. This one is actually 4.24264 ... It keeps on going on forever, but it is not repeating and not ending, not terminating. So that's why these two choices don't work. Number 5 on NS2, you're trying to place square root of 22. All you do is go to your calculator, type in square root of 22, And I get this number, 4.690 dot dot dot. It keeps on going. So that's a little closer to 5 than 4. Number 11, negative square root of 15. Once again, I type this negative square root of 15 in the calculator. I get negative 3.87. Negative 3.8 something is closer to negative 4 than negative 3, so I place it between those but closer to the negative 4. And then last, number 15, square root of 53. When I type that in the calculator, I get 7.280 dot dot dot. And these are rounding to the 10th place in our answer choices, so I'm just going to look at that and say, okay, that 8 would make the 7.2 round up to 7.3, and that's where we get choice D.